Greetings and salutations, loyal viewers of this channel. My name is Sean, and today we're going to have a discussion about this altercation, which is really, if I'm being perfectly honest, a battle for the ages. Here in one corner, we have an angry customer, somebody who's entitled, somebody who decided that they were going to take violent actions against a Bikini Barista, and on the other side, we have a Bikini Barista armed with a hammer who is not about to do anything except for mess up this guy's day. He brought a coffee and a water to a hammer fight, and guess what? Him and his car lost, and that's what I want to talk about today. But before we get into this, thank you to everyone who signed up and supports this channel via actualjusticewarrior.com/join.
Give me the money. Give me the money, okay?
Well, a Bikini Barista fighting back after that customer threw his order right back at her. All of it, as you just saw, caught on camera.
So full disclosure for everyone out there in the audience, my brother sent me this story, and when I initially saw this in text message form and the little preview window came out and I read the headline, I thought, that's stupid. You're stupid for sending this to me. Never talk to me again. You're not my brother anymore. And then I cut him off even though he doesn't work for me financially. Don't ask me how I did it. It involved different various felonies. But then I continued beyond this point and I was pleasantly surprised, and our relationship is now stronger than ever. And the reason why is because this video is amazing. It's gold. And everything about this local news segment is also compounding levels of hilarious, because you're gonna meet and greet the parties involved, and you're just gonna have a great time. Trust me. Let's roll into it.
I'm Hannah Kim. The aggression forcing her to call police, pressing charges, but the video shared on social media.
So right off the top, you see an angry customer, somebody who is described as an entitled jerk, getting out of his car, throwing ice at this woman's little window, which appears to be a drive-through, but it's actually one of those cart things that are in the middle of a parking lot where this girl makes coffee for people, and then he tosses the coffee and he thinks he's made his point. He thinks he's made his statement. He thinks he's won the day with his high-level entitlement mindset that makes him think that he could treat customer service people any way he damn well pleases. Well, guess what? They said that there's a debate about this. They said that there's a conversation being had about this altercation, and the reason for that is, like the mighty Thor, this bikini lady ends up coming out, and by the way, she's not really wearing a bikini, so that's fake news, false advertisement, and decides that she's gonna go to work on this guy. So let's play the video from the top so you could see the counter strike.
The aggression forcing her to call police, pressing charges, but the video shared on social media is sparking debate on both sides. Fox 13's Alejandra Guzman spoke with the barista.
Whoa! I know you guys just saw that. I know you guys just feasted your eyes on that windshield smash, and honestly, I gotta say, I can like it. I can respect it. This is a counter-strike. This guy decided that he was going to throw ice at her. He decided he was going to throw coffee at her. He decided that he was going to threaten her for reasons that we have no idea were the motivation. But this woman wasn't having it. She came prepared with a hammer and she smashed that windshield. And by the way, most insurers come with windshield protection, so I hope he calls his insurance company and lets them know about what went down in this situation, because it gave us an epic video. It gave us some entertainment, and honestly, I'm gonna have to side with the customer service person, even though, based on how she looks, which you will see, it is a devastating plot twist in this video. I would not normally side with somebody who profiles this way, if you catch my drift, if you understand what I'm saying. But yeah, that was amazing. Let's just run that one more time. As you can see, coffee right on the thing. As you can see, the ice as well. But then all of a sudden he gets in his car, he thinks he's gonna take off, and boom, hammer right there. Nailed it. Took out that windshield.
Seattle police are here speaking with the Bikini Barista. This is after we're told the man in that video returned to the area. Businesses refuse service, but in the meantime, it's unclear whether he's trespassing. After posting this viral video, though, some have gone as far as blaming the barista and asking what she did to deserve the customer throwing the drinks at her.
So immediately, and I mean immediately, and by the way, I've seen some of these comments. I'm not going to be showing these absolute scumbags to you. You see people trying to take the side of the customer who is throwing stuff at this barista. But I do want to point out what you heard earlier on in the segment, that he ended up returning to this area and he's been refused service by each and every business in this particular area. Denied service. So who do you think is the problem? All of these various businesses that are around here, or this person that is reportedly someone who acts like a jerk to everyone, someone who has a bad attitude, somebody who decided to come out of his vehicle, fling ice and fling iced coffee at this particular woman on video before anything was responded to him, before he actually took a hit on his own. You see, when you look at the nature of these comments, and I hate for this to become a racialized story, but you know what? Facts are facts, truth is truth. One of the things that you'll notice is that the criticism is this white woman dareth attack an innocent angel black person who was just threatening her and throwing ice at her and throwing coffee at her. Like, how dare she defend herself? And if you think about our society, if you think about crime statistics, it is definitely far more likely for a white woman to attack a black person than the other way around. Of course, unless you know math and have seen any crime statistics ever, then that is something that you believe to be true on the internet.com. So this woman is being labeled a Karen. Meanwhile, who's going with the most Karen energy in this situation? I would say it's the guy who's flinging the ice and flinging the coffee, throwing a little bitch fit, and then all of a sudden, guess what? His windshield got a nice little ventilation hole put in it. So yeah, I'm not tolerating any of the nonsense where people are like, well, in my opinion, this was a both sides situation. Shut up. Shut your face. I don't like you. Go home. Honestly, why don't you go visit the barista lady and you debate the situation and let her smash a hole in your vehicle. And again, I will add, you're going to see this woman. And while it might look nice from that view over there, while you might say, oh, attractive brunette woman, let me just tell you, this woman is somebody who likely, in most circumstances, is burning down your property because of a black guy that was killed in Minneapolis. I'm not saying anything, I'm just saying. I'm not pointing fingers, but my finger is in fact pointed at this lady. Again, see for yourself if you don't believe me, and for podcast listeners, I will be describing this in expert fashion. I will be crafting this description for you so you can find this woman based on your mind's eye perception of how detailed I describe her.
She says she did it to hold him accountable for his actions, as this is not the first time he's been disrespectful. Off the bustling street is this compact and tiny coffee stand. Standing confidently behind the counter is Emma, a bikini barista who can start prepping her regular customers' coffee order
I got you.
before they even pull up. It's more than just a taste of heaven.
So I just want to say, in the build up to this woman says, oh, I did it so that I could hold this customer accountable because he's been disrespectful for different various businesses. But the fact of the matter is, I don't need to hear any of that nonsense. This guy decided that he was going to choose violence. He wasn't expecting a woman to fight back. And guess what? This woman fought back. But I don't know if you guys noticed this. They cut to this little shot of her hand around the espresso machine. And you could see she actually has a bunch of messy tattoos on her, including bone tattoos over her hand. So I just want you guys to prepare for what you're about to see. On top of that, I also want to add that this Bikini Barista thing is false advertising. And if the reason that this individual was so angry is because I was advertised a Bikini Barista and instead I ended up getting a woman in a shirt, I could understand that. But apparently he's had issues with the other businesses, which is why I am not heeding his particular warning. Now, there are a lot of problems with false advertisement, if we're being perfectly honest. And a perfect example of this is when you go into a Hooters and none of the women are carrying owls. Like, what's going on? Why is it even called Hooters?
Her hard work has paid off as she went from being an employee to owner.
When it went for sale, I was like, I need it.
So yes, we finally have the dramatic reveal. We have the woman behind the hammer, the woman that looked relatively normal from that surveillance footage, and all of a sudden, when the truth is laid bare, what you see is honestly something a little bit questionable. Now again, I'm just going to talk about my opinion. I'm not going to rate attractiveness or any of that chauvinistic nonsense, but what I will say is she has a collection of nose rings in her face. Now, I'm not a fan of nose rings, and I never thought if you added a nose ring on top of another one on top of another one, then that would somehow improve the state of said nose rings. I'm also not partial to tattoos. Now granted, this is a personal preference. A lot of people actually find tattoos to be attractive. I understand that that is an opinion that is held by people, but whatever, it's not my thing. And this woman has a tattoo on her forehead, she has a tattoo on her chest, and it appears she has something in and around her neck because she's all tatted up. She also has tattoos on both hands, but again, very notably, she appears to be wearing a shirt and not a bikini. So on paper, I should be against this woman. On paper, I should not be siding with her. On paper, this woman should be throwing a Molotov cocktail into a federal courthouse and being rewarded by the Democratic governance in her state, not being punished, not facing consequences. But right here in this moment, I am breaking with tradition, breaking with my personal bias, and siding with her hammer attack based on the fact that, yes, he did attack first. Now, by the way, I just want to say for everybody out there in the audience, even though I do think there is a justification for this woman's actions, I don't think that's an appropriate way to respond, because who knows what could happen. You could end up facing down a gun. It could be much worse than ice and coffee being tossed at you, in my opinion, so that's something you need to factor in. But considering the way that this situation shook out, considering that this guy has basically been banned from all of the various businesses, from a pattern of behavior, the idea that people are siding with the attacker, the initiator in this instance, and a lot of it is being supported by, oh, he must be innocent because he's a black guy, and this must have possibly been evil white racism. I cannot abide by it. I can't support it. I'm against it. So yeah, I'm kind of in the corner of this tattooed lady who looks crazy and is false advertising that she's in a bikini.
What she didn't need was this. A mix of shock and fury. Emma's moves are swift. The customer's windshield shatters. The aftermath of what Emma says was a 15-minute heated exchange with a regular customer over the price of a coffee and water.
You don't get to name your own price?
Yeah, so this guy ended up flipping out at this particular woman because of what they're charging for coffee and water. Now, prices are obviously up. Inflation under the Biden economy is obviously a problem. Tensions are high. This guy was obviously upset about it, so we can understand that frustration. But this woman is right in that you don't just get to name your own price and then conduct yourself in a violent manner when you don't get the price that you named and made up out of nowhere. You see what I mean about an entitlement mentality.
But it's what the customer said she took personally.
Nobody's gonna make me.
It was a threat. It's okay for him to be outraged about the price of his drinks enough to assault me, and he is over 1.5 feet taller than me. But it's not appropriate for me to respond.
Okay, again, I will hit on the fact that this is false advertisement. The woman's wearing jeans, but also you could see she has tattoos in and around her sides on her body. Like, they're just crazy tattoos everywhere. This is the person making your coffee, and I understand, again, that it's inappropriate for him to threaten her, and I don't want to harp too much on how this person looks, but I just want to emphasize how much I am breaking from tradition by siding with this possible Antifa agent who, again, would set other people's businesses on fire, despite the fact that she actually has a compelling rise from employee to owner of this particular business. But yeah, the guy has no justification for it. Whether she took it too far is the only thing that is open for debate, but the idea that you're allowed to berate somebody for 15 minutes, start throwing stuff at them, threatening them, assaulting them, and all of that without consequences is absurd. But of course, this is the city of Seattle, so this guy will likely face minimal criminal charges, and this woman will likely be taken to small claims court in order to pay for said windshield, because again, we're talking about the city of Seattle. We're talking about Washington State, the place that just recently, according to a video that I published earlier that will be linked in the description and in the iCard, decided that they were going to criminalize, make it a felony to disrespect a pride monument, is going to let this person go with a slap on the wrist. That's how Washington State works. That's how these left-wing areas work. And the fact of the matter is, the hammer as a defense when law enforcement will do nothing is not so bad. Now look, overall, we have a story where nobody was hurt. It could have completely escalated out of control, and it's kind of crazy in every way, and it's a viral video for all of our entertainment. But I want to know what you guys think about this situation down in the comments below. Do you believe the tattoo lady was justified, or are you siding with the person who attacked her because he didn't get to pay the price he thought he was entitled to pay? All your thoughts down in the comments below. below. As usual, if you like the video, show them by leaving a like, subscribe for more content, follow me on the social media, support me via the support links in the description of this video. This has been me talking about madness in Seattle. Till next time.